Hi babes, and welcome back to my channel. I am Sinolwazi April. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. Yo guys, I have been MIA for like 2 weeks and I've been meaning to do this video, but life has gotten in the way, but here we are. So this video is a bit loaded, but I'm here to talk about my experience with YouTube. I have been on YouTube for 2 years now. So the lessons that I've learned along the way, what I wish I had known before starting, and then I'm going to give you 5 tips if you want to get into YouTube, what you're supposed to do, what you're supposed to focus on, and also I have an announcement at the end, so stay tuned to hear that announcement. And yeah, I hope you do enjoy this video. I have been missing in action for 2 weeks, and to be quite honest, I haven't really been inspired to do a video. I didn't know what to talk about. And in journalism, it used to be a writer's blog, or when you writing a book, that's what people say. So I don't know if it's creative block that I hit or what, but I couldn't. And also I've been, the business has kept me busy, so that's not an excuse for not producing content, but I can't exactly force myself to say something, because you guys are going to see right through me if I'm not feeling it, you know what I'm saying? So I'm here to announce why it is that I have been MIA, but that's only coming at the end. So as I said, that I have been on YouTube for 2 years, and it has been the best 2 years of my life, because I am going to keep on saying this is where I launched my baking business. If it wasn't for YouTube, I don't think I'd be where I am today. And in a few days, my business will be turning a year old, and I'm still going strong, and that is because of YouTube, right? And those of you who started with me would know the reason that I started YouTube, right? So I studied media, communication, and culture. I had been going to auditions and nothing was really happening for me, right? So then I decided, let me create my own platform where I talk and do the things that I like, and that's how I started YouTube. So the channel has grown. Right now I am sitting on 1,672 subscribers, and thank you so much for each and every one of you who has subscribed. And at the moment, a month ago, I received an email from YouTube saying that I have reached the amount of subscribers, the amount of watch hours that is required for one to now monetize, right? So but the problem with that is, as much as the channel is growing and people are really subscribing, but people are not really watching my videos, right? So which then that is going to make it difficult for me to have ads, because people are not really watching the videos. That's mistake number 1 that I made, because I only found out when I was doing YouTube that people actually get paid here, right? So before I started, I didn't have that information. To be quite honest, I didn't do much research, or the research that was required, right? So for me, in the beginning, I was pushing subscribers. Everyone I meet, I tell them to subscribe. I go to the YouTube, I subscribe, right? And I didn't have the knowledge of now you have to have subscribers, 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time, right? So I wasn't really encouraging people to watch my videos, right? And you'd have people that subscribe, and people who know me, family members, they subscribe, but then they don't watch. And I'd rather have a lot of people who watch my videos rather than people who subscribe, right? So that was mistake number 1. And another thing that I'm seeing now, because when I started, I just wanted a platform, right? I was like, I just want to do what I want to do. And because I'm passionate about a lot of things, I find that I do quite a lot on my channel. And when I started, I was cooking, and then I got into baking, and then fashion, and then hair, and then skincare routines, and then I'm motivating on the side, and then the story times, and then there's try on hauls, you know what I mean? So I find that my audience is quite split in that regard. So hence when I post, let's say, a fashion video, for that person who clicked because of the baking, they're not going to watch my fashion content because they're not interested in that, right? So, and then I tried also to ask, I think halfway through, to ask people, what would you like to see more of? And then people are like, we like everything. And then every now and again you see me vlogging, right? So I feel like my channel was kinda, or is kinda, all over the place. And also now that I'm gonna get into now monetization, and also now obviously I'm gonna have ads, it's also gonna be difficult now to have a brand come to me and say, we want to work with you, because like, what are we doing? Like, are we now focusing on the baking? Or maybe, let's say, a hair brand comes and I don't have a lot of following in that department, you know, it's going to be tricky. So that has been, you know, a bit of a problem. So I wish I had known about, you know, the watch time, you know, the subscribers and all of that, so that early in the beginning I would have encouraged more people to watch, and also, you know, promote my channel more on other social media platforms, right? So I think, let me get into the 5 things that you need to do if you want to start a channel. So the first thing is, you need to know what your channel is going to be about. I know that a lot of people say just start, but if you do that, you'll get stuck along the way because you don't have a clear vision of what you want to bring forth, right? So if you are clear about what your channel is going to be about, it's going to be easy for you to be consistent and also produce, you know, content. So you need to know, as much as, yes, it's a learning experience, because I also found out a lot of things about myself along the way. Like, I learned a lot about myself. Even the baking I discovered while I was doing a video on YouTube, and boom, now I am a baker. Okay, not boom really, but I mean, if it wasn't for me you know, being curious and me liking to try out things in front of the camera, I wouldn't be where I am, right? But I think it's very important to be clear about what it is that you want to put out there, and also be intentional about the content that you want to produce, right? And secondly, I think what I got right from the word go is, I had great quality, right? So I started, you know, my channel with a camera. Luckily for me, I had an access to that. So great quality, good sound, and also good lighting. So if you have those 3 things, or let's say maybe you're lacking in one, but make sure that 2 out of 3 is on point. Because people, if they're not watching you, they're listening to you. If they're not, because now watching you, the quality and the lighting is very important, right? So make sure, and when you start, you don't have to have everything. Because I remember when I started, as much as I had a camera, I didn't have lights. Okay, only later on I got a ring light, but I was relying on sunlight and it worked well for me. So that meant I would have to shoot during the day, right? And then sound, I still don't have a mic. I project my voice, and if you are soft spoken, then I'd suggest that you get a mic. I'm still gonna do that now. I'm only gonna like invest in more equipment now, right? So those three things are very important, and I mentioned this I think in point number 2, but be consistent. Commit. If you're saying you're going to produce content, commit to that. Be consistent, because for instance, we grew up watching Generations, right? We know Generation comes at 8 p.m, right? And you'll be disappointed if you are there to watch it at 8 p.m. and it doesn't come on. So if you start committing to say, I'm going to produce content on this day at this time, you need to stick to that, because now people grow to like you, and then people come to your channel for different reasons, right? Others want to be entertained, others want to be educated, others want to be uplifted, right? Imagine somebody is feeling down. They know they come to your channel to be uplifted, and then you did not post, like me for the past 2 weeks, you know? So be consistent, and yeah. And then number 4, be authentic. Like, I cannot stress this enough. We already have your Mihlali Ndamases. We already have, you know, Buhle Lupindo. We already have these big brands, right? And don't try to mimic people. Be yourself, and people will fall in love with that. And I feel like I was myself throughout. Hence, when I do my story times, I'm eating my go slows, I didn't come here and portray a lifestyle that I'm not living. You know what I mean? Like, break now the bank because now I need to be seen sleeping or waking up, you know, in hotels. And, you know, I didn't pretend to be somebody that I'm not. Because if you come to my house, go slows. It's not that I wanted people now to talk about that. Like, it's just be authentic, and people will fall in love with that. Don't try to mimic. You can only be yourself. You know what I mean? So be yourself, and people will learn to love that. If you're a soft-spoken person, people will gravitate towards that. If you are bubbly like myself, people will love that too, right? And then last but not least, point number 5 is have fun. Have fun. You see me, I've tried to have fun content, but then I find that I'm at a point now on my channel where people are kind of tired of me. Like, I know that you get to a point where you're like, okay, we know her by now. We need to see new faces. That's where now collabs come into play, right? But then because of where I am, we don't have a lot of YouTubers where I stay, and also transport problems. Now people are busy. It's a bit tricky. It's a bit tricky in that regard, but have fun, you know, loosen up, you know, make mistakes and laugh at yourself. Like, don't take life too seriously, you know. Have fun and take this as a learning curve. Like, you'll be better. Like, if you guys remember my first video, guys, like my first video, I was determined to start. I couldn't edit. You can see me walking from my bed to start recording, and then walking up and turning off the camera. And I did get somebody to edit for me, but they did not do a good job. So I was like, okay, this is something that I'm going to learn from. I'm going to look back and say, I come from this, right? I put it out like that. And people actually, they didn't mind it. There were those who were like, okay, you need to use these apps, you know, to edit and whatnot, right? So those are the tips that I can give you for now. So let's get to my announcement. So the announcement that I have is that I am going to take a production break. As I said that I've discovered quite a few things about my channel and the reason that I am where I am with regards to the numbers and stuff, especially now that I've reached the point of monetization or monetizing. I have to change a few things. I have to introduce a few things, right? And as I was saying, I think, or I know rather, the reason that things are as they are is because my channel is all over the place. So I have decided to go away for a moment and to rebrand, and then when I come back, I am going to come back with different content. So if you remember last year, late last year, I introduced a feature, right, that is called the face behind the brand. If you haven't seen that, you can go watch it, where I actually interviewed somebody who has a cooking business, right? A catering business. So I am going to focus on that content, and then what I am then going to do, I'm going to split everything else and I'm going to do on my other social media platforms. So what you now need to do, you need to go follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, right? I've recently, joined TikTok. So what I'm going to do, because also I saw that, my audience are split, across these platforms. So the cooking and the baking content I will do on Facebook, and then the fashion, the hair, and the skincare I will do on Instagram, and then the motivation I will do on TikTok, and then share across the board. And then I will do vlogs, like now I'll start doing reels, so that will be split between TikTok and Instagram. And so please go and go and subscribe, go and follow me on this platform. So on Instagram is at Sinolwazi April, Facebook it's Sinolwazi April. So I'm gonna start using my page on Facebook to upload, and then on TikTok is at Sinolwazi April. What did I leave out? Instagram at Sinolwazi April. So for such content that I've already mentioned, you can follow me on those platforms, right? So basically that is what I wanted to come here and talk about. Otherwise, man. So I think this is gonna serve me well, and also I'm going to see who really likes the content that I'm going to produce. I might lose a few subscribers, then I will know. If I lose those, then they were here for the content that I'm no longer producing on this platform, right? And so I really hope you did enjoy this video. I really hope you're gonna use the tips that I gave you, and when I come back, it will be a totally different show. I don't want to give away a lot, but just go and watch that segment, Face Behind the Brand. So basically it promotes small businesses around the Nelson Mandela Bay, right? So it will have a different feel than that first episode. I'll call it an episode. It will have a different feel when I come back, but I don't want to reveal a lot. I will then chat to you guys on the other platforms so long while I'm away. I'm still going to be active on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And thank you so much for watching.